Why'd you come back here?
So I was going to tell you the next Friday the 13th story on Friday the 13th, but I figured if the writer didn't bother to make the story take place on Friday the 13th, then why should I give a crap? I mean, those guys get paid millions of dollars, and I only get paid tens of dollars.
That's crap.
Anyway, here's Friday the 13th, part 3.
I have warned thee! Stick around. You'll see.
So we see that the news is showing footage of the Packanack attack, where Jenny's being loaded on the ambulance. It's the day after, so still not Friday the 13th.
Okay, this is his day. It's deceiving.
But the news is reporting that the murderer, who killed 8 people, is still on the loose. But since Jenny is the only survivor, Paul should make 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's math.
Plus, we don't know what happened to Muffin, so possibly 10.
Yeah, butthole.
It also says that they were all killed with an axe, which is bullshit.
Nope, a nope, a nope, a nope, definitely nope, a nope, nope, a nope, oh no.
Well, don't do that to me.
Then this lady Edna, who's been watching the news, looks outside, sees someone who is definitely not her husband out by the clothesline, and thinks, I should go bring those clothes inside so they'll be safe from the murderer.
I spent all day yesterday washing your clothes.
But when she sees the man again, she calls for her husband, who doesn't respond. So she goes to face him, only to see that he's vanished.
God damn it, Harold!
Then, she actually does the smart thing and goes inside.
I didn't mean to.
Her husband Harold, who's working in the general store they live in, eats off the shelves and has to get a rabbit out of his produce. Apparently, it's a pet, but once he realizes that the others were killed by a snake, he leaves the produce rabbit there to die and goes to take a shit in the worst convenience store bathroom in history.
You know I work very hard around here trying to keep up with you and all your sloppy habits.
He thinks he hears a noise, and after not wiping his ass, goes to check behind the sheets that couldn't hide anyone, the closets with no space, and then goes to the double doors.
This place is starting to look like a Burger King.
Now these have windows, but he opens the first one and doesn't see anyone. Then turns on the light for the room on the left, but doesn't look out the window. Then he looks to his right, which should be a wall, instead of straight forward to the giant dude with a meat cleaver.
You never paid any attention.
So Harold gets stabbed in the gut, and he dies.
Why not, man? Is there a law against it?
Now Edna must time her husband's shits or something, because he didn't make any noise dying, but she's compelled to go in that disgusting ass bathroom where Harold didn't flush his diarrhea to see what he's up to.
God damn it, Harold!
He's not there, but a rat is, and it scares her up against the door where she gets grabbed by a left arm that seems to be working great after a machete chop it took only hours ago.
Brachiam. Emendo!
You can no longer feel any pain.
Then she takes a knitting needle to the back of the head and she dies. We then go to some kids that are going to the lake for the weekend. Andy and Debbie are a couple who are setting Andy's roommate Shelly up on a blind date on a trip where Vera can't just take a cab home if he sucks, which he does.
Don't embarrass me.
Then there's Chris, who drove, and also forgot that she left some smelly hippies in her van.
These kids smoke better dope than I do.
On the way to the lake, everyone but Chris, Shelly, and Debbie smoke, but when the cops come up behind them, they eat their stash, only to realize they were heading to the general store.
So they decided to head to Camp Crystal Lake after the news said that 8 people died there?
Shut up! Teenagers don't watch the news. Or apparently the parents have said teenagers.
She is not going.
Listen to your mom. She knows better.
But even though they're passing 2 bodies being loaded up, they're like, it's fine.
I wonder what happened to them.
Then there's another body in the road, but it's just some dude taking a nap. They help him up, and he shows him an eye he took from one of the bodies to warn people to get away from the lake.
He's a real prophet of doom, ain't he?
And this does not work, even though it should have.
Dumb kids. Know-it-alls.
When they get to the cabin, everyone goes to check out the lake but Chris. She goes inside to meet up with this dude Rick, who looks about 20 years older than her.
Fuck, you're old.
She asks him to help with her bags, and at the van, we see that Chris also has no peripheral vision and can't see Shelly hiding in the van.
Asshole.
He's doing this because his date wanted to swim naked in front of him, but he was worried about how he looks.
You are a silly man.
And when Andy and Debbie are bringing in their sleeping bags in a furnished cabin, we know that Shelly's only competition was the old hippie dude.
How come you never scream when we have sex?
Now he wants to get her attention back, so he screams like a girl, fakes being murdered, and falls out of a cabinet when Chris finds him.
I'm an actor.
The rest come in, and everyone's pissed to find out he's still alive.
God damn it, Shirley. Why do you always have to be such an asshole?
Vera wants to go to the store, and Shelly goes with her so everybody else can cool down. There, they get hassled by some bikers, but they were just fucking with them. Then Shelly backs into their bikes, and Ali was outside to see it. Shelly tries to get away, but then stops when Ali steps in front of the car and breaks 2 of the windows out. Shelly is pissed and uses the borrowed car to run over their bikes before fleeing the scene.
It was just a joke.
And when they get back, Rick's pissed about his car and wants to leave. He already told Chris that he has at least one more teenager that wanted him this weekend, and since she hasn't put out in the 2 hours he's been there, why should he stay?
Aren't they at his cabin?
No, it's her parents' cabin. He just let himself in, like a creep.
Don't touch him. You don't know where he's been.
Anyway, the bikers show up and plan on siphoning out the gas in their vehicles and using it to burn down the barn. The same barn that Jason's hiding in.
I realize I'm just a dumb country boy and my feelings really don't matter.
Fox goes to check it out, and since they're trying to be sneaky, she makes as much noise as humanly possible and even swings from the hay trolley rope where anyone could see her. Loco tells her to get back to work, then gets mad when he looks back up to see that she's not messing around anymore. He looks for her in the hayloft and misses her dead body because he was staring at the roof instead of looking in the open area that a person would actually be in.
Bizarre, isn't it?
He also misses the dude wielding a 5-pronged pitchfork in the corner and somehow gets stabbed with a 4-pronged pitchfork and he dies.
Don't play fair, do you?
Ali comes in and Jason's like, catch, and throws Loco on him. Then Ali sees him jump down and goes after him with a machete. But he stupidly looks behind a bale of straw in a corner and Jason comes up behind him, knocks him the fuck out, and beats his head repeatedly.
That ought to kill him.
And he dies. That night, Old Man Rick asks Chris why it's been a few hours now and she still hasn't put out. And she says that she's there to prove to herself that she shouldn't be afraid of something that happened 2 years ago.
What happened to me at the lake happened a long time ago.
See, after their first date, her parents got mad that she was dating somebody that probably graduated before they did, and they got into an argument about her being out late with him. To punish them, she ran off into the woods in the rain, like you do, and took a nap.
The nights are always so peaceful and quiet here.
But when she woke up, Jason was somehow there in the clothes he stole yesterday and attacked her.
Hi, what are you doing out in this mess?
So to prove that she shouldn't be afraid of the guy who tried to kill her in the woods, she went to the same woods that a bunch of people got killed.
That'll teach you a valuable lesson. Beautiful girl like you should never go out in the dark alone.
Yeah, sounds a lot dumber when you know that Andy, Debbie, and obviously Chris all know about her attack. Think of how much of a dick Shelly would feel like if he knew. Not only did he fake his death where she was the one who found him, but when they went to pick up Vera, he fake attacked Andy with a knife.
What is your goal here? To get everybody to hate you? Because it's working.
How did she get away from Jason?
Oh, she doesn't know. She just blacked out and woke up in her bed.
What would a weekend in the country be without sex?
Cool it, Andy.
But she must have called him ugly because he didn't bother wearing a pillowcase over his head until after he attacked her.
I'll never forget that horrible face. Never.
She teased the man with brain damage and then he snapped.
If anything, it's kind of your fault.
Anyway, the battery dies on Rick's car, so they need to walk back to the cabin. There, the dirty hippies fell asleep from boredom watching Andy and Shelly have a juggling contest, and the girls aren't too far behind them. So Debbie tempts Andy with sex, so he bows out, giving Shelly some alone time with Vera. He tells her that he likes her, and she's like, nope, sorry bro. So even though his introduction to her was an apology about how he looks,
Which one's my date?
Hi.
You're Shelly?
Sorry.
he still calls her a bitch for not being interested.
Bitch.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
The hippie dude wakes up and goes to take a shit in the outhouse, even though there's a perfectly good bathroom in the house.
What's the problem?
I found a dry spot under an old oak tree.
He's smoking a dookie doobie, and the outhouse starts shaking, so he doesn't wipe his ass and goes out to see who he thinks is Shelly going into the barn.
I'm not skinny enough.
Then the stoner chick jumps out and wants to go scare Shelly for a change.
I'm not going to let anybody hurt you.
They go to the barn, but give up after only looking in one stall. But Shelly's actually pulling another prank. Vera's on the dock, and he grabs her ankle. Then she just backs away slowly, and Shelly pops up, slightly to her right.
These people really don't like looking in more than one direction, do they?
No, not really.
You gotta try it sometime.
You also have to wonder how Shelly got his hands on one of those Mary Poppins bags, because there is no way he could have fit a hockey mask, a scuba suit, and a harpoon gun in the little ass case he brought with him.
And that little thing?
But when she gets mad, he storms off because she doesn't want to bang him. So he goes to the barn.
Next time, I'll know how to handle a situation like that.
Go play with yourself.
And that's when Vera realizes that she still has Shelly's wallet in her pants that she wasn't wearing at the gas station. When she's looking through it, she drops it in the lake, and then goes to shore to get it out. But that's when Jason comes out wearing the hockey mask and shoots her with the harpoon gun, and she dies.
That's an eyeball!
We also get a better look at Jason and see that killing must make him bigger, because he's much bulkier than he was 2 days ago.
Either that or it's got a very short clone.
Shaved his head too.
Okay, Mr. Clean's on his own page.
He then goes inside, where Andy and Debbie just had hammock sex. She goes to shower, and he, after asking his pregnant wife if she wants one,
No way, we're pregnant, remember?
goes to get beers while walking on his hands for some reason.
Why do you do these stupid things?
But because of this, he missed Jason standing there and takes a machete to the dick, and he dies.
Oh, your poor wife.
When Debbie gets out of the shower, Jason must have wiped up all of Andy's dick blood because there's no trace of it. At least not until his body starts bleeding again after being stuffed up in the rafters above the hammock. And after noticing this, Jason stabs her in the back and she dies.
There's a shortage of perfect breasts in this world. 'Twould be a pity to damage yours.
In the kitchen, the power goes out and the hippie dude goes to the cellar to check the fuse box. After admiring a dead skunk, he gets the power turned on, but turns around to see Jason, who throws him into the fuse box and he dies.
Oh, that's just his way of getting attention.
Upstairs, the stoner chick opens the door to see Shelly with his throat slit. She tells him to quit being a dick and then notices the lights are acting funny. Wonder why? So when she tells Shelly to get up, she's like, "Oh shit, you're for real dead." Now I kind of feel bad for not helping.
Nice makeup job.
So she runs out of there and won't go out the front door because the wind blew it open. So she turns around and runs right into a red hot poker that Jason's holding and she dies.
Oh, I smell something burning.
Here, take this.
Chris and Rick come back to find the power out and no one's around. So Rick's gonna go look outside and Chris wants to go too. But I guess Rick didn't hear her over the wind or some shit. But when she goes outside, we see that Jason has him.
If I can't have her, no one will.
Then when she goes back inside, he crushes Rick's head and he dies.
If fate does want you to kill that crab sack, you're gonna need more than one stupid eyeball.
There's water coming from the second floor, so Chris goes up to find the bathtub filled with bloody clothes.
Keep clean during your menstrual cycle.
She runs about 16 feet to go look for Rick, then starts walking, and that's when Loco falls from a tree.
Come on, we got shit to do.
So she runs into the house and locks all the doors and windows. And when she asks for Rick's help, Jason throws him through the window. And when he climbs in the house, she runs upstairs. To keep him from following her, she drops some books on him, hoping he'll need to read them all like the Leprechaun Shining Shoes or some shit. And since this is her parents' place, she knows to hide in the one room without an exit.
Smart.
Then to up the danger, she screams when she finds Debbie's body in the closet.
I don't see you for months on end. And then when I do, you put this barrier up between us. How do I break through?
So Jason's hacking away at the door, but he was nice enough to leave the knife in Debbie's back for her to use. She stabs him in the hand and comes out slashing. But once she gets him in the leg, she just abandons the knife and goes in a bedroom.
Sex all you ever think about?
She breaks a window and climbs out, but Jason grabs her by the jacket. Then that rips, and she falls nowhere near any of the broken glass.
That was close.
She sees which door he's gonna come out of and waits to hit him in the head with a log. Once he's down, she runs to her van and drives off, almost running him over on the way out of there.
Wow, she survived 2 Jason attacks? That's lucky.
Well, you forgot something. The bikers siphoned out the gas in the van, so it just dies before she's off the property. Then Jason hobbles over and strangles her through the window, but she rolls up the window and gets out on the passenger side.
You're dead now, woman.
She runs to the barn, but he's right behind her, and when he gets in, he locks the door. He first looks for her in a shallow closet full of chairs, and then heads for the stalls.
You give up?
She's up on a rafter, but somehow slipped over and is clinging on for dear life. Luckily, she falls right on his head, so she's able to get to the door, but she can't get the board out.
I'm stronger than I think I am.
So he grabs a machete and goes after her. And when he's struggling to get the machete out of the wood, she goes to the hayloft, where she's smart enough to cover the ladder with some straw and then hide. And when he comes up, she pops out and knocks him the fuck out with a shovel. She then ties the hay trolley rope around his neck and pushes him off the ledge.
I'd have let you hang, you pervert.
And she also happened to use the right length of rope to keep him from touching the ground. But when she opens the door, she sees that his neck is like Rick O'Connell's.
His neck did not break.
And he pulls himself up to get the noose off. He also gives her a little smile, so she realizes that it was him that attacked her before.
Your face is the stuff of nightmares, like a testicle with teeth.
She backs up into the chair closet, but that dude Ali pops up and distracts him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
So while Jason's chopping at his body with the machete, Chris grabs an axe, and when Jason turns around, she plunges it into his skull. But he keeps coming, and then falls over.
Did I do something wrong?
So Chris goes to the lake, where she gets in the canoe and takes a nap. And a while later, she wakes up to see Jason in the window of a cabin, who sees her too.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
But when he comes down, she can't escape because the wind knocked too many trees down around her. But that's okay, because Jason disappears. But then, his mom's not decapitated corpse jumps out of the water and drags her in.
Don't let her live.
I won't, Jason. I won't.
Just your basic old-fashioned mother problems.
But it was just a dream. The cops found her in the morning, and Jason's still in the barn with an axe in his forehead.
How does she know about the mom if it's something they just found out about a few days ago?
I don't know. Maybe it was Rick's corpse. I mean, he was basically wearing the same sensible sweater that night. But the real question is, who wore it better? Write your answer in the comments.
I gotta get out of here.